Hi guys, just want to make a quick video because I have been thinking so much, like many others, about the Asbury revival and so many other revivals that are breaking out all over America, and it is so beautiful to see. I live in Minnesota, and last night Pulse Minneapolis, which is a Christian nonprofit led by, oh yikes, I'm forgetting the name right now of the founder, I'm so sorry. But the founder was at Asbury University a few days ago, and when he got back, he changed all their regular programming plans, and last night they decided to seek the face of God and just worship, and that worship service is still going on in Minneapolis. And you know what, we need this here in Minneapolis, we need this here in America, and all over the world. And it's so beautiful to see the hunger of people. It doesn't matter who's going there and for what reason. It's good that they are there. It's good because God's moving and they're in the middle of it. So that's good. But, you know, people are taking the flames and it's spreading to other places as well is a wonderful thing. And the fact that Methodists and Lutherans and evangelicals and Protestants and God knows who all are gathering there together in one place and worshiping the Lord is a wonderful thing. But it'll offend the religious people. When God moves, he can move whichever way he wants to move. It's a beautiful thing, and I think this is coming at the perfect time because people were getting really tired. People are living in so much doubt and fear and dealing with all kinds of issues after 2020, and so many things have happened in the last few years, just in the recent years. People have dealt with so much loss, and people, I think, were feeling kind of dry, not sure what to do next, and stuff like that. In my last video, I talked about God, the chief shepherd, and his desires for feeding the sheep, right? And now looking back at that video, I think it's so timely. Because at the time I posted that video, I had heard about the revival. Now looking back at that video where I talked about God the Good Shepherd and his desire, his priorities for feeding the sheep. Those of us who have this revelation of Jesus being our good shepherd, okay, we now have a responsibility to feed the sheep, feed the people that the Lord has place in our lives. So whether that be our own family or friends, neighbors, our church family, the people that we work with, people on the streets, whatever, wherever, whoever the Lord puts in our heart, okay, we must reach out to them. As the Lord leads, we must shepherd them, take good care of them, really love them, sincerely love and serve them, not being like the hired shepherds, you know, the hired men that the Lord talks about in John chapter 10, where they didn't care for the sheep at all. They were feeding themselves. So the result was that the sheep scattered. So the responsibility really does fall on the shepherds. So I was thinking about this, Lord, what is my role in all of this, right? What role do I play? And sometimes when we're witnessing something so amazing like a revival, and you feel like, where do I fit in this picture? What is my role in any of this, if any at all? You might be thinking that. And so trust this, like if you have a relationship with Jesus, you know, and you love him, reach out to others and share that love and serve people without paying too much attention to, I will only serve certain people who look a certain way, who are in certain positions, who work for these certain organizations. Those are the people that I will serve. Now, this is what good shepherds would do. You know, they will reach out to people regardless of position, title, this, that, because they're not doing it for power. They're not doing it for influence or for attention. They are doing it because they love the sheep. So God's really going to look towards shepherds who have God's own heart. You know, like King David, he's a man after God's own heart, right? That's why God put him in charge as the king, because he had a shepherd's heart. And that's why God put Joshua in charge of the people, because he had a shepherd's heart. In fact, God even said, it shouldn't be that my people, my sheep don't have a shepherd. So I need somebody who will watch over them in their going out and in their coming in. It's the shepherd's role, you guys. Shepherds who are after God's own heart, who are focused on Jesus. They are the ones who will help people, who are supposed to be helping people, watching over them in their going out and their coming in. Okay, God has placed that responsibility on the good shepherds who are looking to the good shepherd. So if you're wondering what's my role, because I was thinking about this yesterday and today, and we should ask that. We should ask that. Don't let this time slip by. And the Lord will tell you what your role is and how you can help. And then any opportunity, you guys, any opportunity you see to serve people, do it. Because, and keep this in the back of your mind, you don't need a stage or a big platform to do this. God is just looking for good shepherds, right, to feed the sheep so that they don't get scattered again. Because now, think about it, a lot of people are flocking over to Asbury and all these other places where revival is breaking out, and they're going to be delivered, and they're going to receive a lot, and they're going to be on fire. They're going to be so happy and at peace when they return to their homes, to their regular life. And now somebody has to take care of them, you guys. Somebody has to teach them things. Somebody has to show them and lead them back to Jesus, back to Jesus, back to Jesus. Constantly point them to Jesus. Who's going to do that? Can you do that? Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to do that? And are you waiting for, that opportune time to do it? Are you waiting till you are all perfect? Why? Just depend on the Lord. Depend on the Lord. If you have that shepherd's heart and you love people, you love God, that's going to attract God. And so you keep that hunger in yourself burning for Jesus, and God will show you who you need to touch. And God will point you to people, will show you people who have no shepherd right now, or who don't have good shepherds in their life. It says in Ezekiel chapter 34, God said to Ezekiel, prophesy to the shepherds, these ones who are only feeding themselves and they're not feeding my sheep. And so what did God say? Therefore, I'm going to stop them from feeding these people, and I am going to go and seek out the sheep, find them and bring them to green pastures. Because Jesus said, I am the door. I am the door, and my sheep, they're going to come in through this door. And not only that, but they will go in and out of the same door. That's what I talked about in my last video. So anyway, so there are people that the Lord will show you who don't have that in their life. Maybe it's people who are not even on social media. I've even recently spoken to people who had no idea something like this was going on. See, not everybody knows. Not everybody is on YouTube or Facebook, okay? There are people, whether it's young people, old people, whatever, who don't even know this is happening. So who's going to let them know about it? Who's going to teach them? Who's going to take care of them? Who's going to show them the truths? Whose job is that? And you will say it's God's job, but okay, but who's God going to use? I hope this was encouraging to those of you who are hungry but you just didn't have direction, and you want to be a part of this, and you don't want to miss out. That fear of missing out it's a real thing, especially when something like this happens. But God's not forgotten you, and sometimes it's easy to feel forgotten. It's easy to feel like, man, unless you hype yourself and unless you have this whole entourage of people to go around with and serve with, that it's just not going to happen for you. God's not going to use you. But that's not true at all. Stay hopeful. Don't lose hope. Make sure you don't allow any negative thinking to enter your mind at this time, because you have to stay focused. I'm speaking specifically to the good shepherds out there. Stay focused, okay? Keep your gaze fixed on Jesus. Something beautiful is going to happen in you and through you, and it's going to spread to others. Anything the Lord does for you, that's not just for you to keep, it is for somebody else as well. You be ready. Keep yourself ready and prepared, and make sure that your heart's posture is constantly turned towards God, and it's in a position to receive, and that you are walking in humility, that you know that everything you are and everything you have is by the grace of God. My God. And God's just looking. I've said this a million times before and I'll say it again. It's my favorite thing. I always say this to myself. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to be good at a lot of things. You just need to be really good at depending on the Lord. We all need to be fed by Jesus too, because we are first and foremost, and we will always be sheep in his pasture, and we need to be fed by God. Guys, you won't believe it, but I was like in my bathroom this whole time making this video because my kid was watching cartoon and it's kind of loud out there, but I hope you can hear me. This is funny, but love you all. See you in the next one.